Good evening, everybody. I am Shelly B, a conservative Black sister surviving in a hot mess world. Now, tonight's hot mess is nothing political, but it can be sometimes, and it's Black women's hair. And the question that I want to ask tonight is, do wearing wigs cause Black women to hate their natural hair? And I just want to unpack this, and it's a lot to unpack. So this is probably going to be a long one. But before we get into this, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it if you would do so. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you can to help the algorithm. I really appreciate you. If you would do so, I love you if you would do this for me. And even if you don't do it for me, I still love you anyway. Okay. So tonight I decided to come on here and talk about wigs, being that it's such a huge thing. And I don't really know how to think about wigs, but the reason why I chose to speak of this, because for those of you that don't know, among of all of the things that I do, the main thing that's my bread and butter is that I am a licensed cosmetologist. I'm licensed in 3 states. I've been licensed since the early 90s, and I've worked in every capacity that you could think of in the hair industry. I worked in a salon. I was an educator. I was a salon consultant. I did platform education. Today I work in the film and TV industry, and I've been doing that for like the last 20 years, working in major film productions in every capacity, from period hairstyling to keying productions to also being the head of department for major film productions and major TV productions. So I have a lot of expertise in this. And I also was a professional model, and I also was a person at one time to wear weaves, and not so much wigs. I had wigs for emergencies. I call it emergency hair because I never really was a wig person. I never really liked wearing wigs, but I did wear them for work sometimes as a model, and I've been photographed in wigs. I was more of a person to wear my own hair. I had long hair at that time, and I would just like clip in extensions to lengthen it or give it like more volume or whatever. I never really liked weaves. I don't had anything permanently attached to my head. I did a hair color situation when I first started modeling, and they made my hair blonde and the hair fell out, and I had to wear a weave for 2 years. So my hair grew back, and I hated it. I absolutely hated being a slave to that. And I don't see how women do it, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, first, let's start by saying that my opinion is a lot of people seem to think that women are self-loathing when they refuse to wear their natural hair. That I disagree with. And as somebody that has worked on a lot of women over the years with their hair, installing systems on them, weaves, creating wigs and looks for people in every level, be it, me wearing it or, creating it for somebody else for film and TV or whatever. I find that hair is a special effect. Okay. It's an accessory. Okay. Like clothes to me. That's how I look at it. And I feel that it's the mentality of the wearer that makes it off-putting sometimes when they won't wear their natural hair. To me, I feel like if you can't go out in public without your hair, and you feel like all your confidence is depleted without your hair, then you have a problem. You have some inner thing wrong with you, or some type of self-loathing situation, whatever. But I know a lot of girls that wear wigs all the time, but they can also wear their own hair. They wear their hair short. They're just like fashionistas with their hair, and they like to change their hair, like they change an outfit, but it doesn't make or break their confidence if they don't have like long hair or have some type of weave on their head. So we have a lot to unpack here. I want you to watch this video because there was a lot of opinions in this. And, I felt like a lot of the women were, pretty sad in this video, because they were very honest about the reason why they won't wear their hair, which I think a lot of women are not honest about the reason why they don't like to wear their natural hair. I mean, for me, I've always wore my natural hair. Like I said, as much as possible, I prefer to wear my natural hair. And I'm a person, my hair is short now because I'm a person that believes that hair carries a lot of energy, and you should cut your hair off from time to time and release that energy. That's just what I think. I would never have locks or anything like that because I just feel like it just holds too much energy and too much stuff. I like the freedom to be free and not have anything attached to my head. Like, I don't like nails for that reason because I feel like it blocks my energy from my fingertips. So the top of your head, a lot of things release from the top of your head and your fingertips. So I don't like to really have that, permanently covered or have it covered all the time. And I damn sure ain't sleeping with nothing on my head. So let's look at these women in here. It's women of all ages discussing their wig situation. And I definitely believe that there is a lot of self-loathing when it comes to a lot of women with these wigs, and they're going to say it. They're going to say it because a lot of women just do not feel confident without their wigs, and they feel like they are not beautiful when they don't have somebody else's hair attached to their head. So let's look at this and see what they have to say.
So if a white woman say it, y'all ain't gonna like it. If a white woman say it, y'all ain't gonna like it. If any other woman other than a white woman of any other race and ethnicity say it, y'all ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna like it. If these black men come up here and say it, y'all really.
Now this lady speaks throughout this whole thing, and it's a lot of what she has to say is pretty, real talk, as far as what women do with their hair and their mentality and their insecurities and stuff.
Ain't gonna like it.
Why do you wear suits everywhere? Every place you wear a suit.
Why do you wear that hair everywhere? It's the same reason that you said earlier. That's why I wear the suit.
No.
She didn't have nothing to say to that.
Go to the club, but you don't wear that hair.
I can change it
When
up.
you go to the beach, but you don't change it up.
I do.
You do not change
Different
it up.
hairstyles.
Yeah, but it's still not your hair. The day you go out and you don't wear someone else's hair is the day I won't wear the suit.
She ain't had nothing to say.
Did I say something?
When it comes to my hair, I change it a lot. I have no braids, to be honest. I actually have a shortcut under here, but my hair is down my back. But I've done different type of things with my hair. I am always changing. So how comfortable are you with the consistency of like how your women changes her hair? Or
I'm not really big on like weave, and if I can see a braid.
And the funny thing about this, and I talk to a lot of men about this, and I work with barbers, and throughout my career, on and off, I've worked with a lot of men. And I've just been in all types of work where it's like male dominated. And men say they don't care if you have long hair or short hair or whatever, but most men do not like wigs. So women, I don't know if they wear wigs for themselves or they wear it because they think men like it, but generally speaking, most men seem to think that, it seems to me, that they don't like wigs and fake hair. Really, they prefer a woman with natural hair, whether it's short or whatever. The things that we think men like in us is just not what it is. It's just not. I don't think men, a lot of the times, particularly unless they're very shallow, I don't even think they care about your body, stretch marks or anything. I've heard all of these things from guys. They don't care about the stuff that we're worried about. It's just crazy how different men and women think, and the things women worry about that men are not even looking at them for.
And then like I can see the bump in the back.
He said he can see the bump in the back. See, now they're going to discuss this and they're going to talk about bad wigs in this, okay? Because that's my thing. I can't stand a raggedy ass wig. I can't. If you can't afford to get your wig done right, or you don't know how to prep your hair properly under the wig, go to a professional person and get it done. Because anytime a man can notice your wig is bad, it's really bad.
the braids. Okay.
So I'm gonna have to be the one that's gonna say it. I'm gonna have to be the one that holds y'all hand and say it. As a black woman, as a fair-skinned black woman, I'm gonna have to hold y'all hand and say this. If you are a black woman and you are wearing wigs on your head 365 days out of the year, if you are wearing wigs on your head more than you wear your natural hair,
I feel prettier with wigs or straight hair. I feel prettier. I feel more feminine with hair, wearing hair that mimics another race of people. And I know that's a shame. And I know that's some internalized self-hate. But listen,
it is internalized self-hate because just through our history, we have been criticized about our hair, all the time. Every stage in history, they're criticizing about our hair, but a lot of people don't realize that our hair is tightly coiled and they work like conductors, and it can give you, a positive energy and a positive frequency, put it that way. Okay. So, our hair is the only hair that defies gravity. There's lots of things about our hair. Our hair can take like 550 degrees of searing heat. Our hair is, built for heat and sun and stuff like that. And then, to loathe your own hair, I just see a problem in that. Like, a woman like this has self-work she needs to do. It's not like she's just changing her hair for fashion. She really has some type of mental issue, and she's saying that.
my eyes aren't fooling me. I don't look, okay? I don't look that good in any style, but definitely when my hair looks what it looks like, natural. I don't want to wear straight. I don't want to wear straight hair.
I had a client one time, she always wears a weave, and she wanted to try her hair natural, and we took the weave out. And when I put her hair in a natural style, like, I literally just watched all her confidence leave her body. She couldn't even look at herself with the natural hair. She hated herself like that. And I know she went right out immediately and put a wig on or got something else done to her hair. Was there nothing I could say to convince her that she was beautiful with the natural hair? It was very sad to see it. It was just such a weird thing to just watch her when she saw herself. It's like she couldn't even look at herself. It was so sad.
But I don't look good with my natural hair. And the natural wigs, they look like, who done it and why.
See, she just don't like natural hair, period, because I think some of the natural hair wigs are fabulous and they're very big and sexy or whatever. I used to wear afros and stuff before I actually grew an afro, I just feel like hair is an accessory like clothes, unless you are self-loathing like this woman. She even said that she's self-loathing. She just don't like her hair. She said it.
I'm not trying to go to work like myself.
This girl get her hair done, but let's skip because this is such a long video. Let's skip. But this was good right here. This girl was talking about
how long did you say that you haven't had a trim or a hair?
So I haven't had a trim in probably like 6 months because I wear like sew-ins and wigs a lot.
Okay.
So this is just from me taking down my sew-in braids.
Gotcha.
So my hair is like dry. It's kind of brittle. Like I just want.
Now, see, this is the problem that I have too with a lot of the wigs. I have girlfriends that wear wigs and their hair is down their back. They have long hair and they wear their own hair sometimes, and it's like a protective style. They don't have any self type of loathing. They just, don't want to, maintain their hair, or, they just want to protect the hair. So they wear a wig or whatever. But a lot of girls that wear wigs, they do not take care of their hair. One guy said online that the girl he was dealing with, just a random girl that he had met or was messing with, he said her hair smelled like a monkey cage. I just thought that was so funny because a monkey cage really has to smell bad. So a lot of girls, to get these wigs put on and, styled properly, they're very expensive. So I feel like that's why they hold out for so long. But, you really need to take your wig off every day. One of my friends, she takes her wig off. She wears a lace wig and she takes it off every day. I feel like you should take your wig off every day. A wig was not intended to sew onto your head and leave it there for months. A wig is supposed to come on and off every day. It's not supposed to be sewn to your head. I mean, most women don't take care of their hair. That's why they don't have edges, because of the glue and the wrapping and all that stuff, and keeping stuff around the hairline all the time. I mean, you know, in order to you're wearing somebody else's hair, you're losing your own. It make sense.
To bring life back into it.
You shouldn't go 6 months.
Okay.
A trim or haircut. You're always wearing your hair in sew-ins and wigs
all the time.
Braids too.
Yes.
Right. So you're not really taking care of your hair. How much do you wear your hair out?
I probably wear it
out of the year. If you had to, like, out of the 12 months, how many months do you wear your hair out?
Probably like 3.
3
at most.
Yeah.
And I
like
just
3 total, like 90 days total, or
because like if I do wear it out, it'll be like one day, and then the next day I'm going to get my hair done.
Okay, you have to think like you're. It's not circulating how you need it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like the top of your head, a lot of energy builds up there. You need to let that free and let I don't know. I just can't live with something constantly on my head. I wear my head wrapped a lot, but it comes off every night, and I could take it off at any time and kind of look still decent under the head wrap. It's just an effect that I like to wear. I would not want it sewn onto my head, and I wouldn't want something blocking my energy for months at a time like that. It just, I don't know. That's something we need to look at. Like, what energetically, what does it do to you to have your head like that? I don't know. I don't see how girls put a wig on and leave it on for a long time, especially in the summertime. It's just crazy.
I'm saying, so it's like I put it away because I don't want to manage it. Like, I'm just like, do something with it. Like,
yeah, you don't like yourself. A white woman came up here. I don't know if her intentions was pure. I don't really care about that. But you gotta call a spade a spade.
I'm talking about people who have full B, full C, or even full A, dark brown hair.
Let me skip a little. This video is almost an hour long. Let me just skip through some of this. Let me get to this next part.
4, 3.
Now, this is Faulner. She is a host on CNN, and she's always worn her natural hair, natural, quote unquote, because she still, wears her hair straight or whatever, but that's her natural hair. She's never worn wigs and stuff like that on air. I don't know what she's doing in her private life. I've never seen her with anything but her natural hair. And people were always like, oh, you should put more hair and this and that. And she just would refuse, and she just wore her natural hair.
We'll go outnumbered overtime now. I'm Harris Faulner. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Harris Faulner is the host of Outnumbered Overtime on Fox News Channel.
Great to see you, Congressman. The big question today.
The show airs Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Faulner is the only African-American woman that hosts a daily show for one of the 3 major cable news networks. On MSNBC and CNN, there are daily shows hosted by African-American men, with Craig Melvin and Don Lemon, respectively. But on those networks, African-American women only host broadcasts that air on the weekends.
When Fox committed to giving me an hour of television, I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like, and I looked for those faces. I'm curious when I look across the dial Monday through Friday, where are the other female Black anchors? It's a tremendous amount of responsibility. Of course, they're going to cover the story moment by moment.
Paris does.
And I must add, her team is Black.
Breaking news better than just about anybody in the business. She understands the story.
Her hair and makeup team, that's what I'm talking about when I say team.
She knows how to help the audience understand what's really important and what we need to learn and where we need to go with the story.
How's it going? My day starts with the rose gold folder. We start out pretty early on an editorial call in the morning, and then we build this blueprint of the show. And now I'm ready to rock and roll. Because I have 2 elementary school daughters, so I just work it all out on them. And the number one thing I tell them is never, ever, ever hide your confidence. People will call you egotistical, they'll call you all sorts of names, because as women, we're supposed to kind of maybe second guess ourselves a little bit, so society thinks. But I tell my girls, go big, go bold, don't hide it.
So Wendy, while you're lying,
I love that what she said right there, because women are They do try to hide your confidence. Or, oh, you're bitchy, or oh, you think you're all that or whatever. But like she said, go big, you know. Be you. Be your best and biggest self that you can be. Your hair shouldn't affect your confidence at all.
To Cameron and potentially causing her severe harm by lying to her and deceiving her into believing that she will be required to wear wigs when she gets older in order to be deemed beautiful and to be able to have a job. Here's Harris Faulner, who has a major news spot on Fox News, and for as long as she's been in the media, she's always worn her natural hair. And unlike you, who's telling your daughters to wear weaves and extensions to be beautiful, she's telling her daughters to be confident, to go big, and to go bold. And when you go on her Instagram, she's always wearing her natural hair. Yes, you can be a Black woman, you can be a news anchor, you can have your own TV show and wear your natural hair.
It's a damn shame that y'all feel like y'all don't have any room for correction. Okay, that's a damn.
So let me skip a little bit.
Sister up here say, oh, well, why y'all so busy worried about our hair?
Y'all ever notice the mean natural girls is always a girl with a strong type 3 hair pattern? I have never seen a type 4, especially a type 4C girl, be a mean girl about, oh, love your natural hair, this, that, and the third, because they know. It's always a girl with a loose curl pattern who hair takes well to moisture, heat, ain't never had to deal with extreme shrinkage, who be like,
this sounds so dumb. When I had my afro, I used to get so many compliments from men, women, all races of people about my hair. So she sounds crazy.
Love your natural hair. That's easy for you to say. Try being bob texture, Amy, for real. One thing
I hardly think it's her hair texture that's the problem. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Always say it's hair off limit for us because it is a real struggle to love your natural hair, to get a hair appointment, to figure out what looks best on you. I don't never kiki about no hair, except, you know, we all kiki about bad wigs. I only kiki about bad wigs on women who know better. You know what I'm talking about. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about. And then edges, like, but other than that, what is you talking about somebody hair for? Go worry about your own head. What your head look like?
Don't say nothing about lip fillers. And matter of fact, white women wear extensions too. Now, y'all know goddamn well I ain't gonna come up here and take up for no white woman, but I will tell you this, that when white women wear extensions, it's always extensions that look like their hair. It looks believable, right? When some Black women wear black hair, it doesn't look believable. We know that
is the problem, because some of these blonde wigs sometimes on certain women, they look crazy. I never liked my hair blonde. I had my hair blonde maybe once or twice with like extensions and stuff, and I don't like it. It's not flattering on me. I don't know. It just, I never liked it. It never felt right on me. It's just, I don't know, you know. And there are tribes, you know, the Melanesians are natural blonde Black people, but the wig is where it messes me up. I don't know, the blonde wig, the straight blonde wig, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
It's not your hair. We know that blonde hair don't grow out y'all scalp. We know that. We know that blonde hair don't grow out y'all scalp. So why are we playing these games? Better yet, why do you want to look like another woman of another race and ethnicity? Why? Why do y'all want to look like other women of other races and ethnicities?
I mean, I don't feel that they're ever going to look like a white woman with their hair because they're Black. I mean, they're just not going to ever look like that. And like I said, hair is a special effect. If it's just, you know, you just want to wear a hairstyle like an outfit, that's fine. But it's when you're like those women that are insecure and they have no confidence without the white girl hair, then there's a problem. Because I know girls that wear wigs and they wear every texture, every color, short, long, whatever. They wear their own natural hair, short or whatever. You know, it's no limits to them what they do with the hair. And to me, it's very confident that they can work with so many different looks and stuff like that.
You hate yourself that much.
So I saw a comment underneath a young girl's post.
She looks. Let me just make this bigger, just for this sequence, because y'all got to see these wigs, because this is crazy. Child, they look crazy.
Who happened to be dark skinned and was wearing a blonde wig. The comment, which was left by an older woman, said, "I hate when dark skinned girls wear blonde wigs. It looks so ghetto." I had to reply to that comment, and we ended up going back and forth, and she ended up deleting.
I mean, I just don't think it's flattering. It just looks weird. To each his own, but that I don't know.
In her comment. With that being said, get ready with me, a beautiful dark-skinned black queen, as I wear my blonde wig from my first wig. See, I grew up in a household where skin tone was just not a thing. My mom always told my sisters and I that we were beautiful.
I don't love any of these looks. It just, I don't know. I don't know.
Never you're beautiful for a dark-skinned girl. Just you are a beautiful girl. To all my beautiful girls with the rich skin tones, wear whatever hair color makes you happy. Be confident, be bold.
That's what I say. Wear whatever makes you happy. But, you know, if you don't, but the confidence, your confidence cannot come from your hair, your clothes, and stuff like that. You should exude that no matter what. You know, like some people, girls can't come out without makeup and stuff like that. Their man has never even seen them with makeup. They get up early in the morning to put their face on before the man wakes up and stuff. I mean, your confidence cannot be wrapped up in your hair and your clothes and stuff. That's something that you exude from the inside out. And that's what's going to draw good people to you and draw good situations in your life and keep you on a higher vibration. You know, nobody likes a person that lacks confidence, because I don't trust people like that. I don't know. I just don't. All right, so let's skip. I'm going to skip a little bit more because this is really long, and the link will be in the description. I forgot to put it in there, but I will put it. So you could watch this on your own time if you're interested in watching. I'm trying to cut this short a little bit tonight because I have got to go. Because I got to get up super early in the morning. Let me see. Okay, right here somewhere.
Let's make some lemonade, yeah. Taste those clouds away. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Okay. My whole life got them hand-me-downs, but what that meant was I had my family round. And sometimes I can't help but frown. Then I remember what I meant for. It's so simple.
One thing about Black people, though, our hair is our crown, and we've been like that since the ancient times. And I feel like you should treat your hair like a crown. And if you don't feel like a queen with your hair, then you have inner work you need to do. I feel like whatever you wear on your head, the confidence should be there first. And the hair, like I said, is just an accessory, and that is it.
I just say, gotta just celebrate. It's gonna be A-okay. Life's too short to waste away. One step at a time's all it takes, okay. It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay. Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade. Yeah, taste those clouds away. It's a brand new day. Hey. It's a brand new day. I'm acting brand new. You can tell that bad news. It can go in van moves. I'ma be like I do. I'm allergic.
I am not with Metro anymore. I am with HFT.
For a long time, I had been wearing just only wigs and weaves, and I got used to having long hair. Not long ago, I decided
Honestly, I think she looks much better with her natural hair. I think everybody looks better with their natural hair because that's your natural state. That's how you were crafted. And I feel like when you find the right natural hairstyle for you and you find the confidence inside you, I feel like the confidence inside of you is what makes the hairstyle work. Because even if you wearing a wig, if you don't have any confidence, it's not going to look believable on you. And I feel like that's what happens to a lot of these girls when they have these blonde wigs and stuff. I just feel like they lack the confidence to wear it. It just never feels right. Or it never, some people it looks okay, but I just, I don't know. I just never like it. I'm biased. I'm sorry. I can't even make an excuse. I just never really like it.
To start practicing how to love myself. And I noticed that I've always had low self-esteem and didn't see much value within myself. So a couple of years ago, I decided to start working on myself because I knew that it was a hindrance to me, and that whenever God would speak to me about doing a particular thing, I would always talk myself out of it because I didn't have any self-confidence. So I decided to start working just on myself. While I was...
To me, that's the key to everything in life and being successful in anything you do is confidence. Because nobody's going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Nobody wants to be around a person that is in that energy and in that low frequency. That's a very low vibration. It's a very low vibration. And people will pick up on it whether or not you realize it or not. And you really should work on yourself like this lady is saying.
Doing that, it came to me that if you really want to learn how to accept yourself and find value within yourself and start loving yourself,
I feel like she looks much better in this than she did in all the pictures she showed with the wigs. Like she just has like an inner light that really wasn't there before.
Going to have to accept who you are, even your hair. When that thought came to me, I pushed it to the side because I didn't think it was really important. But one thing I found out, if it's the Holy Spirit speaking to you, it's going to come to you again. And it did. So I would say maybe like the third time that thought came to me, I paid attention and I was like, okay, you need to do something about that. You need to stop wearing the wigs and start wearing your hair. So to make a long story short, my hair started thinning in the middle of my head. It was because I am an anemic. So I knew that I needed to do something.
And let me just tell y'all, for women, just like men have the men have baldness and stuff, men have baldness, women can become bald as they age too. You need to leave your hair alone and leave it in your natural state if you want hair when you get old. Because all of that covering up the hair, it doesn't get the oxygen it needs. Your chi is not flowing how it should because you have it blocked with the wig on your head all the time. You're not taking care of the hair properly, and you will have thinning hair. Everybody's hair thins out as they age, but the more wear and tear you put on it, the more there's a chance that you're going to have an issue. And a lot of women have baldness from these braids, wigs, and everything like that. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. And you will have regret as you age that you didn't take care of your hair. I'm telling you.
Something that's going to help my hair grow. So my oldest daughter, Naisha,
taking care of
she convinced me to trying sister locks. And I was skeptical about it because one of the main things is
I don't really like locks because, like I said earlier, they just hold too much energy and lint and carrying on. It's just not for me. If I ever did lock my hair, it probably would be sister locks because I feel like, you know, they're smaller. I still feel like they hold a lot of energy, but you can shampoo it. You can do different styles and stuff. Because me, I don't want to be a slave to a certain look. And I feel like locks kind of locks you in. You know what I mean? I don't want to be locked into any hairstyle. So that's why I never really like locks. I like it when I see it on other people. I think it's beautiful. It's just not for me.
Stuff wearing long hair. She did tell me, well, Mom, if you get sister locks, you can still wear your wigs because all you have to do is just braid your hair down. So I was like, okay.
See, that's the good thing about the sister locks because it does have versatility because they're so small and so fine. I have a friend that has sister locks. It takes hours to get that touched up. I don't have the patience for that. Whatever I have on my head, I got to be able to just do it myself. I'm not going to the salon to get anything. I don't even like to get my hair cut. I'd rather do it my damn self. I don't like, I really don't like anybody really touching and fooling in my hair too much.
So once she put the sister locks in my hair, of course, I braided my hair down and I put back on the wigs. Maybe like a couple months.
I think she looks so much better without the wigs.
After I had gotten my locks, I decided that I was going to make myself just wear them. Once I started wearing my natural hair, it took me a long time to get used to how the way they look on me.
I think she looks
And I was determined that I was going to do it anyway because I knew that I just needed to. And you guys, once I started wearing my natural hair, it freed me from.
And that's what I'm going to say. When I cut my hair off, immediately I felt free. It does take a little bit of getting used to because I had my hair in an afro for about almost 10 years and I cut it short like this. So, it's jarring when you see yourself. But when I felt them clippers on my neck and I was like, oh my God. But then I loved the way it felt. It felt great. I felt free. I shampoo my hair. It takes 5 minutes. The style of my hair, it takes nothing. I don't even need all the hair products and stuff that I was going through when my hair was long enough. It's just, I don't know if I'll grow it back much longer than this. I don't know. I always say that and I always end up growing it back. But, you just got to get over the hump and learn to love yourself and learn to accept yourself as you are. And it's like, it's empowering, really. This is what this lady is saying. It's empowering. You start to see yourself in your natural state. I feel like me in my natural state with my afro, with my hair short or whatever. And let me tell you, when I cut my hair off like this, I had more guys talk to me and stop me and tell me they like my hair than in any hairstyle I ever had. They like my hair short, which was surprising to me. So I'm just saying, guys like what looks good. And a lot of them don't like wigs. You have a wig on, they're going to tolerate it or whatever, but they rather, be able to touch your hair and stuff like that, the freedom of it. Hi, Tyree King. He said, how did the men respond? I don't know what you're speaking to, Tyree, as far as what did the men respond to, the natural hair, whatever. I feel, like I said, I feel that most men, and you could, give your opinion here, but I feel that most men don't care if women have long hair or short hair as long as it looks good. And I said that most men tell me that they don't like wigs. So I don't know what you think about that, but I've just heard that from so many men. And, I can understand why they don't like it because, I know a lot of men complain they can't touch the women's hair and the women don't want them to touch their hair and blah, blah, blah. And they don't like the way the wig smells sometimes. They have all kinds of little things that they say about why they don't like the wigs. So I'll be interested to see what your opinion is. So this lady goes on and on and on. But the bottom line, it was very positive. I just wanted to go back, though, a little bit because this woman that was speaking on here, where is she? Because I felt like she just sounded like an idiot, what she was saying about her weaves and her kids. Let's just watch this section right here.
Black women here that are trying to intimidate.
Where is it? Sorry, y'all.
Spade a spade. What she said was, what you are doing this subconsciously, and I actually said this a long time ago on my other page. You are tricking your mind into thinking that this person with that unit on your head is who you are. When you look in the mirror and you constantly are putting these units on your head, you are tricking your mind psychologically into thinking that this is what you look like. Black women, I am going to hold your hand when I say this. That is a form of mental illness. Okay.
I stopped wearing wigs completely. I can honestly and confidently say I was struggling from hair dysmorphia, where I would look at myself.
The hair dysmorphia. It's funny because, some people have gender dysmorphia, all different, where you think that, your hair is something, she thinks she needs this white people hair and she's uncomfortable in her body without her real hair. It's kind of like when trans people say that they feel uncomfortable in their body, they think they're another sex. She think that she, you know, has other hair, needs other hair to feel whole or whatever. It's
like this and find this to be repulsive, repugnant, and ugly. Like literally, I did not want to leave my house often looking like this. I didn't think I'd be beautiful, which now is so girl, what? Like that was so wild. I stopped wearing wigs completely. So that means textured wigs, non-textured wigs, synthetic wigs, all of the above. I don't wear Afro wigs. I throw those out. I don't wear clip-ins, throw those out. And the reason why is because there is a verse in the Bible that is in the book of Psalms, Psalms 139, I think it's verses 13 to 14, that talk about being knit in my mother's womb by God. Like he knit me in her womb. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and all of God's works are good. I started realizing that if I'm hiding, if my heart, because God looks at the heart posture, right? Some of y'all be under my comments talking about, well, I don't wear wigs because I hate my hair. Good for you. I wore my wigs at the time, and I don't want to claim them as mine. I wore those wigs at the time because I was hiding from how I actually looked. And I really thought at that time that wearing a wig that did not match my hair texture, wearing somebody else's hair on my head made me prettier. And now when I look at my old pictures, I wish I could redo all of my pictures. They are literally...
I wore a wig one time for a driver's license photo because I had a modeling casting this day. My hair wasn't done. They called me at the last minute to go to this casting. So I threw the wig on and I went to the DMV and they took my picture with the wig, and I hated that picture. And I was like, oh my God, I got to keep this picture for so long. And every time I looked at it, I just hated it that I had that wig on for my license. And I had that picture for a long time. And I even went back to try to get another picture. And when they sent me the license, it was the same picture with the wig on it. And that just made me so bad, you know, that I had to look at that for years. So I say all that to say, I understand what she's saying, you know, about, you know, the choices we make. And then once you do the work and then you look back on your life and you be like, why was I doing that? You know what I mean? What would be the reason why, you know, when you reflect, you know, but we should try to reflect before we do things, but that's just not how humans are, I guess.
A stranger to me. That person is a stranger to me. Still love her, but me with a bust down was not the business. Like, this is what's giving. Like, this is giving. I was so obsessed with trying to be a baddie, wearing wigs, the most laid wig, a wavy wig. But I would wear wigs and literally pretend as though the hair was mine. Like, I was hoping that the hair would one day just melt and glue itself to my scalp forever, permanently, stuck to my head as my hair. Like, I really wanted like a nice little wavy 3A situation. Never again. I don't even look at anyone's hair and covet it. I don't want to covet my neighbor's anything. I am so blessed to not only be alive and breathing, but to have a head full of hair. I'm finally waking up to the fact that I'm a baddie with a fro. Like, I'm gorgeous. Nobody looks like me. Nobody has my hair texture. Everybody has a wavy bust down wig. Everybody has a Brazilian wavy. So boring. I'm bored.
And I'm gonna tell you why it was very interesting when she said it, because she said, you know, the bare minimum, you're not even wearing units that resemble who you are. You're not even wearing 4C units. You're not even wearing the texture of your hair. You're wearing...
And I don't care. This girl's being very hard on everybody, but I don't care. I feel like hair is like clothes. It's a special effect. It's an accessory. Just like makeup. A lot of people get mad people wear makeup. Makeup is an enhancement, and your hair is an enhancement too. It's just the mentality of the wearer that makes it a problem. Everybody that wears makeup or everybody that wears a wig or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're self-loathing and they have, like, you know, all these internal issues. It just means that, hey, maybe they're a fashionista. They get bored. They like to change up or whatever. You know, that's how I see that. The people that have the dysphoria, like she said, you know, the people that have the insecurity and they lack confidence without the hair, those are the people that have the problem. That's why I say it's in the mind of the wearer.
A texture that looks nothing like you. And what you're doing over time is you are affecting your thought process when it comes to who you are. That's what you're doing. And what's worse, A lot of y'all women that won't take those units off y'all head with no underlying medical condition, y'all are doing this in front of y'all little black girls.
Well, honestly, the reason why I stopped straightening my hair, when my son was born, I cut my relaxer out and I wore my hair natural because I wanted my son to appreciate a natural black woman. And I did not want to confuse him. His hair is like mine, and I've never straightened my hair ever since. So I do agree that, you know, you should, especially when they're young, instill in them their natural beauty. Because if they see you with a wig, self-loathing, it's going to make them feel that way. The kids, especially young girls and the boys too. Because if you grow up in a household like that where everybody's wearing wigs and everybody hates their hair or they're bleaching their skin, or whatever, it's going to make them grow up and hate that look too. You understand? And I didn't want my child to be like that.
Y'all are doing this in front of your children. What does that tell your children?
Serena definitely lightened her skin. I love Serena though. She definitely lightened her skin. I definitely think that she looked prettier before. Even though she had a wig or whatever, I think that the color that she has in the 2005 picture is flattering. It's a warm, light color that's flattering for her skin tone. And the other one, it just looks like a costume and a clown. It's not flattering. I'm sorry. And I love her, but you know, I just prefer the other look. But if she's happy, go for it.
What example are you setting for these little black girls? What example are y'all setting for these little black girls? How are you going to tell your little black daughter that she should love herself and she should love her skin tone and she should love the texture of her hair if she does not see her mother practice what she preach? Make this make sense.
I have an answer for her. I literally lifted up my wig and I said,
Now listen to this.
This is mommy's costume. I'm in hair and nails and
tells her daughter that she's wearing a costume. How confused and crazy is her daughter going to be? Listen to what she's going to say.
lashes because that's what I need to do to work. I'm not in that because that's who I am. And I literally lifted up the back of my wig and let her touch my braids up underneath it because as a mom, I felt helpless and all I could do was
the back of her wig. To me, if that's the case, if you have to wear a wig for work all the time, then you should come home and take it off so your kids can see you in your natural state. Because all they're going to do is grow up and want to emulate you. That's what kids do. And they're going to want to wear a wig like you. How are you going to convince them that their hair is beautiful when you can't wear yours? Why do you feel you have to wear this wig for work? Who said you have to wear a wig to do what you do? I don't know. But they said the same thing about Beyonce. They said Beyonce would want to wear natural hairstyles and stuff, and the fans didn't like it. So even other Black women don't want to see you natural. So now that's something that we really need to unpack. Because Beyonce can't come out that blonde, white girl weave because the fans didn't like it. So make it make sense. So collectively, there's something wrong with the Black women out here,
would show her that the beauty she has in herself, mommy also has. And I just think that as parents, we try the best we can, but no one is perfect. So for all the little beautiful brown babies out there that look like my camera, please know I see you, I love you, and your hair is beautiful, no matter what texture it is.
Your hair is beautiful, but not enough to wear it. And I'm going to have a long Indian wig. And that's what she's going to tell the girls. Make it make sense. That mentality is the crazy mentality that I say when the wearer is crazy or mentally something ain't right and they got work to do. That's one of those people. I had to double back and show this because this was crazy.
So this is my unpopular opinion, especially coming from a girl who's sitting here with her hair not combed for about 2-3 weeks right now. So these lace wigs, we're going to continue to do that. And I know, you're going to come for me. The girl is about to come to me. But the same way y'all finna try to snatch me up is the same way I feel like y'all should be snatching these wigs off your head in 2024. Like, how is your head breathing? Like, you walk around with this lace glued to your forehead every single day. every single day. Like you're saying it's giving scalp, and it definitely is not giving scalp. I can still see those little dots up there. I can still see that line. I can still see that lace. Like, can we bring back?
Girls don't care that there's a protective hairstyle. You know, that they're trying to protect their hair underneath. I'm telling you, a lot of girls under their wigs, they have really long hair. And you know, what natural hair is, it can be a lot to work with, especially when it's really long. So a lot of girls, they opt to braid their hair or, you know, braid up and wear a wig or whatever. I just always chose to wear a head wrap because when I was a model, I used to keep my hair wrapped all the time. And so I wouldn't have to do my hair all the time. I'll just keep it wrapped and I will wear my turban or whatever. And when I worked, I would pull the hair out. But I never liked my hair straight. I always hated that look on me. I never thought it was flattering. When I first started modeling, I had short hair and they didn't like it, so I grew the hair. But I just never thought it was very flattering for me to have my hair straight. I just don't like that flat. I mean, I have an oval face. I like volume or something cool to my hair. I used to wear big ponytails a lot sometimes, but other than that, I just never liked my hair flat to my head.
Natural sew-ins, the tracks, if you want to glue some tracks in, or maybe ponytails or braids, like everyday wigs. Like you have so many wigs, like it's a wardrobe. And on top of that, they're $800-900 for wig.
Wigs are like part of your clothes. Like I said, it's an accessory. They really are. But I feel like some people are a slave to them. And if you see some of these girls without their wigs, they would not be the same girl because they would have no confidence. Their confidence leaves when they take the wig off. And that is what the problem is. And that is what needs to be worked on. But the women that have confidence, no matter what their hair looks like, I love them.
Will never understand that. And I just feel like it's giving costume. It really is. Every day I have to glue this thing on my head. And then when it gets dusty and crusty, the next day I have to walk around with a headband or a wig band on. And that's just too, that's not natural. And then you want to pop the bonnet on and have your baby edges. Yeah. Y'all, I just feel like we could y'all gonna do it anyway, but that's my little rant. I don't understand it, and it may be just the millennial in me. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right.
So there you have it, folks. So that girl seemed like she was very weary. And look, a picture of Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah, she always wore her natural hair. I guess sometimes they would put clips in and stuff like that, but she had her own natural long hair and they would blow it out and stuff like that. So I feel like it's your natural hair when it grows out of your scalp, whether they straighten it, braid it, twist it, whatever, is your own hair, you know. And she would have extensions added to her hair sometimes, but she had her own long hair. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. We miss you, girl. So anyway, I don't know, you know, what we achieved with talking about this because this has been an issue for decades, you know, since the 80s, you know, when regular people just started wearing wigs. Because I remember, you know, that was wearing the hair extensions. That was something like only Hollywood really would do. You know, only, like they say, only like prostitutes and old people will wear wigs. And now today, even teenage girls wear wigs. It's just, you know, it's just a wig generation. You know, I feel like these lace fronts will go down in history as, you know, with the Jerry curl and stuff like that, is one of the diabolical periods for hair. You know, it is what it is. You know, I think some people look very beautiful in their wigs. And some people look busted in their wigs, just like they had, you know, they were saying how some women, and I don't know if I showed this, but they were saying some women, they so self-loathing that they'll wear a busted wig over just wearing their own hair. And we see it all the time. We see girls with terrible wigs all the time. And I feel like that's what makes people not like the wigs, is the people that wear the busted wigs with the lace, you know, showing, terrible, tacky wigs. It's all bucking up and all matted or what. You know, we've seen them all the time. We see them all the time. People that have unflattering colors and stuff like that. We see it all the time. So they make a bad rap for the people that wear a lovely wig. You know, I feel like some of those girls have beautiful wigs. They were very expensive. You can tell the ones that spend a lot of money on their hair, you know, and some people can't afford it. But I feel like if you can't afford it and you're going to wear a busted wig, maybe you shouldn't wear a wig. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here because this lasted much longer than I thought it would. All I can say is elevate your frequency. You know, love yourself. You know what I mean? Wear whatever you want to wear. Just be confident from the inside. You know, if you are in your pajamas, you should be confident. If you have your wig on, or if your hair is short, you should be confident. You know, if you have a shaved head or you have a wig, be confident. You know, I just feel like when you take your wig off, if your confidence goes away, you need to go for therapy. That's what I think. You know, but that's just my opinion. So I am Shelly V. I love y'all. This means I love you in sign language. And I do, if you sat through this with me, and I do, if you love yourself just as much as I love me, and don't give a damn what anybody thinks about the way I look. I have confidence whether I have an afro, a hat, or whatever. One thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going outside with no bonnet. I hate that look. I hate the videos where girls get on there with a bonnet on and start talking. What is that? I don't know. I feel like bonnets, you know, it is some tradition there or whatever, but I just feel like it's just not cute. There now, I've seen in Africa some beautiful bonnets made out of African fabric that are really big and beautiful, whatever, but not the regular, you know, beauty supply bonnet. I'm just over it. Do better. All right, I am Shelly B. I appreciate you being with me. I really do. And I'm glad to come on here and talk about something more lighthearted than, you know, all the foolishness that's going on out here in the world. You know, this was a much more lighthearted discussion. And hopefully I haven't offended anybody that wears a wig. Hopefully, you know, you have confidence in your wig and you're exuding confidence from the inside out. And, you know, you go out there in the world and you're slaying, okay? From here, okay? Please don't let your hair, you know, rule your confidence and rule your energy. You know, whatever you wear, you own it. That's one thing I learned in fashion is, you know, clothes don't make the person, you know. You're giving life to the outfit. You, whatever look you have, whether you have hair, you don't, you have a wig, you don't, you give the confidence and the personality to the look. Okay? And don't think because you have that wig on your head and you think that that's your confidence, people still can pick up that you don't have the confidence, that there's something lacking underneath the surface. So work on that, okay? And I would suggest for anybody to wear your own natural hair, you know, just on occasion, and to try to build your confidence up in being your natural self and being in your natural state, being without makeup and just going out and being in your natural state and getting more comfortable with the real person, like the lady said that God created you perfectly as. Okay, so I'm going to go. I am Shelly B. I thank you for watching me. I will see you on the next one.